relevant?
Yeah, that could work too, but then again, it's like, how are they going to use it? How are they going to use all those tools that they have? If their timing is off, it's going to go to waste.
Honestly, first pick Jushin. Jushin's able to kite away from the Akai if Vitality wants to go for it. I know we were kind of like yelling about it, but then you still get the Atlas on the side of Vitality, but you pick up Purify on the Jushin. And then you can kind of play around. They end up going for the Atlas, so there it is.
Yeah.
We talked about Moreno on the Jushin. Do we think it's a definite lock, Remar?
Oh, if they do, that's gonna be a bit of an ego pick. An ego in the good way. It's like, it's that Vitality ego. It's like, I know we're better than you. Let me show you some of our old favorite tactics of like packing a sprint on this Jushin, giving it a Sky Piercer, and then suddenly it's just gonna go crazy because you gave it way too many kills early on. I could see them doing that, honestly.
2 picks coming up for Vitality. Atlas taken away this time for True Rippers, who start with that. Let's see what Vitality do to respond.
With the way that Vitality won last game, they could also completely steer a new way. And Harara was left open, so we are going to get to see some aggression on the jungle of Vitality. As their second pick, Selena, this is exactly what I said. After winning game 1, we could see them take a complete left turn and kind of switch things up here.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't the Jushin, but this definitely goes into that school of thought of, yeah, let me just show you how much better I am than you. That's a hell of a pick. You do not see Selena come out this early. This is coming from a team that... Oh, wait, no, I just realized. Coach Panda is with Team Vitality. The last time we saw him in the MSC stage, he wasn't able to fly out. But that was the meta of Atlas at Rome. Selena was one of the picks he wanted to pick up because at least you could set up some traps so that you could get vision. Now, this is surprising to me because the Uranus is one of the responses to the Selena in the sense of, all right, go ahead and waste your Abyssal Arrow onto me so you have a strong front line. But then they pick up a Yi Sun Shin. This requires them also getting a strong fighter type in the gold because if they go double carries, it might be too greedy.
Freya's not open.
Yeah.
They could go for... Call me crazy, but they could go for something like a Ruby Gold.
You're crazy, but that's good.
But honestly, the Harara wants to dash in, the Selena wants to dash in. Something that can stiff arm those heroes that want to get up close and personal. It works great along with the YSS. If you want to see at least a fighter in the gold, something bulky in the gold, it could be an option for sure. Beleric gets picked up by the side of Vitality. This is a roamer we've had our eyes on. Is this a first showing so far today? We haven't seen the Beleric yet, I don't think.
So far today, yeah, it's been banned, surprisingly enough, yeah. It's gotten banned out more. Oof. What are they going to pick up at the gold? Actually, that's just my biggest question right now for True Rippers. What are you picking up at the gold lane?
Unless they swap YSS to gold.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, unless they really go a little bit back into the meta and then suddenly bring back YSS in the gold lane.
They have the option. They have the option.
They have the option, all right. They have the option.
We'll see Yi Sun Shin, the last pick for True Rippers so far. We've got 2 more to go. As Beleric selected.
God, I'm not used to seeing that face there. I was like, who's that?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Still getting used to the newer portrait. Yeah.
Just getting used to seeing that hero anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. We usually see it in a rank game.
Wait, that's a hero?
Suddenly, it's a meta pick in MSC. Who would have thought? 2026, everyone.
Earlier we said fire sometimes needs to be fought with fire. Sometimes you need to cool it down and try to go the opposite direction. In this case, fast game, fast win for Team Vitality. Do True Rippers try to match that pace and out slug them? Or is this better if True Rippers trying to find a lineup that just survives and just builds towards seeing more gameplay?
It depends on whether they believe they just played bad last game.
Right.
Or if they truly think that Vitality's a little bit better.
What do you believe they think?
We're going to find out.
We'll find out. Come on, we don't need to find out for you to believe.
I mean, I don't know yet.
Do you think they see it as a mismatch?
I think they drafted very well last game, right?
Okay.
Like I said, I agree with their draft last game. So coming into game 2, whereas it all nerves last game, right?
Yeah.
That's tough, man. That's tough. I already said that I think they should slow play this game. I don't think they should come in thinking we can just go all out. You're up against Indonesia, which is known as a brawly region. They're great at micro mechanics. They're great at going toe-to-toe, especially with regions like this. They're kind of the stoppers for other brawly regions. Don't get me wrong, Vitality have great macro, but they are ready to headbutt with you a bit. So I don't know if that's the direction True Rippers should go. but hey, they might take it there. They got a YSS right now, so they kind of have to.
Yeah.
Renmar?
Paris, gold. If they decide to go for like a fighter in the gold lane, they will
Give me
not
a
have
ruby
the firepower. Ruby gold, and then they're gonna turtle it out and just hold the fort down for their YSS with the Selena around, with the Herrera around. That's gonna be a tough ask unless True Rippers are gonna surprise us with a pick here. But no, they'll play it stable. They'll go for a double carry, a Gord in the mid, a greedy lineup, but they have the damage.
Maybe that's what they felt. I mean, it seemed like the tempo was they wanted to counter engage, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of understanding that they were going to brawl. The choke comes out, and we were going to deal with the brawl. Maybe they felt they didn't have enough damage to properly punish the counter engage from Team Vitality. So a different, but I think clear approach, Renmar, and what True Rippers wants to do in Game 2.
Yeah, you can see the idea there. It's just with Uranus games, it's always really good or really bad because your EXP laner doesn't have strong crowd control, but the rest of them do. So the crowd control is there somewhat.
To an extent, yes, you have some crowd control with the Moskov, but again, like, it's more defensive crowd control. And my big worry for True Rippers right now is with how they lacked crowd control last time, they're easily able to get dived on. It's looking very similar.
All right, well, Game 2, will it spell another sub-10-minute win for Team Vitality, or will True Rippers be able to even up the series? Let's send it over to Naisu and Brigitte for Game 2.
True Rippers cannot let this end sub-10, and they have to find a way back into this series in order for us to get into a game number 3, but Team Vitality, they just came into this with a Selena mid, very similar to what we've been seeing from their women's division, but also a Belric XP lane.
Belric XP, man. I mean, we've been seeing so much of Belric the past few weeks that, you know, it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna go in the XP. There's an arrow landing, Moreno. Okay, Asuna at least holding on to that flicker. Nice little stun with the projectile. Has that damage on Finn too, but will be okay. This is one thing I have to say though too. Yeah, Belric and the XP, he's running the Revitalize. And so, just as the panel mentioned, you know, over in the studio, they said they like to fight. Indonesia loves to fight, and now they can extend them even further. An arrow's gonna land, you're thrown in the air, you have nowhere to go. First blood in the hands of the Maestro.
Yep, the Belric and the XP lane, I think we are yet to see a successful game from, but the Selena has been very 50-50. We all know for a fact that it has been. In this scenario, though, it's been one of the more successful Selena games as she gets 2 consecutive kills in a row.
Brigitte, they said it. You know, this is an ego pick. The fact that Selena was brought up that early in the draft and now you've gotten yourselves 2 kills, you know exactly why it was picked up that early in the draft. So this is a problem that True Ripper is going to have to deal with now for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because you have to worry about you being spotted out and you having to evade all these abyssal arrows that have so far always been connecting towards the right targets for Moreno. So it's really becoming a statement right here. The ego pick is working wonders for them, if ever it is, because the rotations have been completely disrupted for True Rippers. You don't even see them confidently take control nor show up in the river. Just look at how Shogun is holding down all these bushes and making sure that they keep every single member of True Rippers in check.
Let's see what happens here again. Playing on this map too, dangerous grass, extra bushes to work with. They're gonna force out the rest of the members of True Rippers here for this fight. Mountain Shock are gonna be used too. They're gonna come in for the lockdown, and SOD already thrown out. Good kill on Nile. This is what True Rippers need to be able to go ahead and secure themselves an objective. They have all the room to work with right now as Ians will secure the turtle. Fight's gonna break out. There's the Gush, and True Rippers, they've awoken in Game 2.
One of the tankiest members extending that fight, actually leading to an advantage for True Rippers right there. I don't think Nile nor the rest of Team Vitality had enough damage to just take down this Uranus, this Rehansha who's been just standing in the way for so long. Even Kimmy just baiting out some of their attention and taking in majority of the damage too, eventually allowing them to get access to Nile. So this is maybe one of the potential workarounds for this draft, is just really sustaining everything as much as you can, because mostly the damage is gonna come, yes, from Moreno. Like the burst damage, in terms of burst, it's really just gonna come from Moreno at this point in Nile. But as long as you get to tank everything, then maybe there could be a way around this for True Rippers.
Yeah, that way is their tanky front line. Vision used. There's a whole wombo combo for Finn. Another kill picked up here for True Rippers.
True Rippers are starting to be a lot more active than you expected them to be. A really great setup on that Fatal Links, as you've seen, but Rehansha too, the way that he's been moving around, I think it's really big help.
And SOD, again, Suna with a pickup kill. Next one, looking for more in the mid lane, arrow thrown out. Finn joining the fight, has a flicker, but doesn't want to risk it, so they just disengage for now. Vitality now in this position where they're second guessing some of these engages against True Rippers, and that's exactly where they want to find themselves currently, because it's just, you don't want to give too much over, right? Yeah. This Gourd, we've seen it before. There's a reason why the Gourd has really picked up in the meta. You get a couple kills going on him. That Mystic Gush is a great zoning tool, but it's also obviously a big damage tool. And that's something they have to watch out for, because not only are you working around Abyssal Arrows for Vitality, the potential for a pick-off with a kick from the Cho, but even True Rippers, this composition has its strengths, and one of them is that amount of synergy that comes with the ultimates plus that Gush.
Which is really interesting, because it seems like True Rippers are the ones who are going for the more brawly plays and team fights from this point onwards, but they're setting up for this objective. Shogun finally going to be part of this team fight. We haven't seen the Belleric just yet. Oh, but Finn misses that flicker!
Yep, not the setup they were looking for. Down into the Rapid Dryad to be able to pick up one. Shogun gone. Emon under the Zaman Force. They're still going to be firing off, and if Finn falls again here too. True Rippers fighting Vitality, and Emon trying to get away, but will not be able to escape Rehansha. True Rippers, they found their footing.
If you want to fight brawls, if you want to go all out on team fights, then True Rippers are doing exactly just that. They're playing around Ian, they're playing around Asuna. And even if you wanted, or we wanted to point out the fact that maybe this wouldn't be, oh, hold on, Jans.
Jans is going to be able to survive just 1 HP.
Yeah. He cannot go down like that. Just as True Rippers were already getting the advantage. But going back, this seems to be a very straightforward approach for True Rippers, but it's working out for them really, really well. I guess we're starting to feel the demands of hope.
Oh, he's going to go for the kill too. Went in for the kick. Ian's able to get enough health back. And Finn is the one to get punished. A misstep there from Finn.
Yep, so maybe we are starting to feel the demands of how skill shot based or how mechanically dependent these compositions are for the team Vitality. You really have to layer them out really well. It has to follow a certain sequence, whereas True Rippers can just be in your face. They could just create space, and they could just allow their damage dealer to do their thing. Team Vitality seems to be a bit more precise in terms of the teamfight approach.
Oh, Emon. He tries to get away, pop the Purified too. An engagement in the mid lane. Zaman Force already dropped down. There's the Gush on Finn, trying to escape. An SOD thrown out as well. The Revitalize, though, helps the fight as they fight back, but Shogun goes down. A arrow thrown out, and now Finn looking for more. They re-engage once more. Nile not able to capitalize on a kill unless he can go back into this fight. He looks for the moment. He goes in under the turret, able to pick up a double kill for Nile. Looking for potentially more. And again, he has the Sky Piercer, so that's 2 stacks.
And they've somewhat turned things around here for Team Vitality, at least for now. They're already able to lessen the lead, but Nile is still being chased by Rehansha here. Okay, we'll get the objective, but Rehansha.
Rehansha, can he escape? Yep. He's going to be fine again. This Uranus, very strong, and he's had a solid game so far. Again, 3-0-4. He is the bulwark for the team currently, but Vitality shows some fight in them. Off of that exchange in the mid lane, plus an objective, they slowly make a baby step in the right direction, but still, True Rippers up amidst it all. Nice little Rapid Dryad there, used up. Garcia will be able to survive, though. Good thing for some backup up on the other side of the map. They're going to be going once again on Ians. He falls. Top turret. Kimmy could be next.
Okay.
He gets taunted with Shogun. He tries to get away. Probably conceal, but Emon won't let it happen as he takes down Kimmy.
So much happening all over the map. I might want to take a look at the items right now. I am really eager to see what builds have they been picking up, especially for Cho and Belleric, and it seems like they're just going for tank.
Yeah.
But despite that, you could really feel how much pressure they're actually able to put onto the opponents, how much they're able to actually maybe get out of True Rippers, but I would want to see more, especially from Finn. Maybe a more accurate way of the dragon and targeting from Team Vitality, and that, even if it wasn't a kick, was a really good one.
Would you call that accurate? I mean, he got the flicker out, right?
He somehow got the flicker out, and I think that's his win for Team Vitality.
That's one of those things, though, with a Cho, you know, across them, you don't know sometimes if they're going to full commit to it or not. Sometimes you're like, hey, it's better a flicker than a death, you know? So that is burned from Asuna, but still, nonetheless, still alive and still in charge, at least for now. Barely for True Rippers. Again, they got a turret up ahead of Vitality, plus a little bit of a gold to work with. But this Lord coming up in 10 seconds will tell us a whole lot of where this game is going.
And by the way, it has always been here in mid. Majority of the action has been here in mid. I feel like Team Vitality, for one, because of how frequent the fights have been happening in mid, Vitality have somewhat taken advantage of that. They've been doing things on other parts of the map, which has really lessened the lead, but Kimmy...
There's a kick right on the mark. They're going to take out Kimmy after the Fatal Links is used, but he's gone. SOD thrown out, now on the disengage for Vitality, so they're going to take an advantage of it. True Rippers will take down the Tier 1 in mid, even down a member. Now they're going to potentially get set up around this Lord pit here.
Okay, so True Rippers, despite what we were pointing out, just really wanted that Tier 1 in mid perhaps, but Finn, does he find another one?
Oh, Finn wants to go G-Kundo. Salmon Force drop down. They're going to force the fight once again in the mid as Ians is taken out. And now next, the taunt comes through as Rahansha falls. And now with multiple down for True Rippers, Lord for the taking here for Team Vitality.
It was just sheer damage, sheer aggression from Team Vitality to equalize this scenario in this game. Shogun might just get caught here with the Fatal Links though, but the damage is not enough.
The damage is not enough. The Revitalize is all you need. Kimmy trying to get away, but a missile arrow will land, and it's a double for Niall again. Stacks on stacks for this Herrera.
And they will take that Tier 1 away from True Rippers just the same. Now the lead, which was in the hands of True Rippers for the longest time, is now over to Vitality, and they also have a Lord. It's been 10 minutes of somewhat team fights happening in mid, skirmishes and scrambles happening here and there, but now it's Vitality who somewhat still have the better grasp of the macro and are now pushing True Rippers to defend for now.
It seems so quick for the momentum to shift over in favor of Team Vitality. Off of a lot of forced fights or, you know, these skirmishes happening in the mid lane. You can see the stacks here too for Niall. He's got that 44 on the Sky Piercer, and, you know, that's deadly to deal with because the way that we've seen the Herrera played is just kind of in and out. You know, you're utilizing the iframes that you have that good amount of damage. You can kind of weave in and out of fights, and now that you have multiple stacks in this way, you're a big threat to the rest of True Rippers.
Yeah, at least for True Rippers, they have decent wave clear. They were also able to at least take control of that top lane so they don't feel as much pressure in terms of the synced up waves crashing. But there goes a Mountain Shocker. They have an idea of where Team Vitality currently are, but they're not going to focus on a fight just yet. But there are flickers in Team Vitality's hands, so they might have to watch out for that.
Again, a play could be made here by Finn. A BOD was just picked up by Niall as well. Finn right there in the mid. Not sure if he's going to commit to it. Doesn't just yet. Again, Kimmy waiting for that flicker to be available so that he could potentially set something up. I'd love to see this, all this time that Garcia has had to go ahead and farm up on the Mozkov, to go ahead and turn the tide with a great SOD or, you know, some initiation from the fight from True Rippers, because they've got that potential. They just got to go ahead and get the upper hand. Let's take a quick look at the items here.
Yep. They already have the damage. That's the Trinity already built in here for Garcia, and he also has just locked in the Rose Gold Meteor. So even if Lee, let's say, unfortunately gets to take that Abyssal Arrow, he could probably survive an additional hit or two. But that's the thing, True Rippers, I like how they're being very careful about this. They didn't want to force a fight, especially without Garcia in range for the Wrath of Dryad.
Wrath of Dryad used. Kimmy can't get away, and there's the setup they were looking for, right on target. As Asuna is gone, 2 down for True Rippers. And it was these arrows once again from Moreno that just brought Kimmy low enough for them to collapse down, just like they'll collapse on the Tier 2 turret. There's a push up top from Garcia. But the base turret in mid's going to be worked on here. The minions will be cleared out. Lord is coming up. Team Vitality will make their way.
They're pretty much left with no choice. I like how they're at least getting trades, though. This is different from game number 1. Garcia goes back in, though.
Garcia joins after that, throwing that SOT.
Yeah.
True Rippers will be able to go ahead and hold up on this front side. It looks like they want to go ahead and at least stall out Team Vitality. The rest of the team is up here. Could they potentially take this Lord? They got to dance around these Abyssal Arrows. Nile joined the fight now too. They're going to be going, looking for a potential fight already for the Lord. Everything already thrown out. Moreno's gone. Lord secured though by Nile. The fight still breaking out. Finn finally goes down. True Rippers trying to win the fight here. They might have lost the Lord, but they can take more with them. They're going to go for Shogun. They get the stun. It's a double for Garcia.
And that's when Finn couldn't even land. The stuns wasn't even able to just kick Ian's out of the way to secure the objective. Let's take a look at that replay, because I feel like there was a clear attempt, at least from Finn, to just deny the retribution from Ian's here. He was just trying to chase after him, and he did not successfully do so. But the knockups, the damage, the splash damage that just came from that team fight, which was a really messy team fight at that. It helped so much in terms of how Vitality were able to just win the objective, and that is what really matters at this point. At least they're not able to hand over the complete advantage to True Rippers, but nonetheless, True Rippers were actually able to somewhat balance out that fight. It's not a huge loss despite them not getting the objective.
Brigida, it was really good usage of the tools they had at hand. True Rippers, I mean, Eons as well, being able to avoid what Finn was trying to do. You know, those little micro decisions around the Lord staying alive, being able to get being able to stay alive, even if they lost the Lord, it's still potentially to turn it around because the key members stayed alive here. Garcia being one of them, and it's so important. Again, his spacing, his positioning on the Moskov. He's done a phenomenal job not dying, utilizing his Purify when he needs to.
Yeah.
But now you got to be the guy to also turn these fights in your favor. And there's a whole lot they can do off the Fatal Links. A Conceal's going to be used, scouting out a potential target. They won't find it just yet, though.
Yeah, and even the entries through the SOD, I think, have been really great for Garcia. It's not like he just goes in and puts himself in a very dangerous position. It's more calculated timing that you're actually seeing from him. Let's take a look at the gold distribution so far, and even in terms of scaling, I think he's been doing great, matching Eman in the gold lane. And the last time we checked, he was actually ahead in terms of gold, so it's really great. But that's a Purify.
Yep, Purify used. Are they going to go for the re-engage here? They're going to disengage for now. An arrow is going to be able to land. They're going to force it anyway. A Fatal Links into the Mystic Gush. Moreno off the off angle. Going to be looking for more. Immortality going to be popped from Kimmy. A projectile thrown out, but it's a double for Nile. They're able to go ahead and pick up two, expending a lot of battle spells, and SOD just thrown out, not going to connect though.
Oh, iframes, the iframes! Ian's going to find the kill!
Finn on the hunt, he goes in with a flicker. There's the kick they're looking for, right into the hands of Nile. Another kill picked up. Team Vitality, what more can they take at this point?
3 members taken down, and they also took that orange buff. To answer your question, they're just really focusing now on resources because we're about to see a Lord spawning in 6 seconds. But let's take a look. That was a clear counter engage. They had all the reasons to do this simply because they already had information. Ian's was all alone. They could go for the chase, and Hirara is just one of the best heroes to rely on in terms of that and outputting the necessary damage. They're waiting for this. Are we actually going to wait for an entire minute, though? Because the Evolved Lord will take an entire minute. It seems like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Lord secured. Now, at this point, again, it's... Brady, in that situation, right? Backs against the wall. So I don't want to count them out, though.
Yep.
Even with that, that Lord secured, Team Vitality will have to kind of take their time going into this fight because of the nature of the composition. A lot of times, like you said, they're playing around the arrows. They're sort of also waiting to see what Kimmy decides to do with that Fatal Links, because they have to avoid that combo, that Wombo combo we've been seeing so much of. Fatal Links, Mystic Gush, and keeping tabs on Garcia. So with this Lord approaching the base, let's see how True Rippers want to defend against it.
Yeah, it's already full item builds for both gold laners, for all damage dealers. I think Nile's just locking in his last, and he decides to switch it up and pick up a Winter Crown to complete his build, so there could be more creative angles from this point onwards.
Comes the Lord charging into the mid turret. Fatal Links was already used too. They'll force it anyways, utilizing iframes. Whoa! the damage from True Rippers. They're going to chase down Niall. He's got an immortality, but he's trying to get away. Good use of the conceal, but an SOD from Garcia will come through, and they still escape, only losing Iman in that fight. It's one base turret down, that mid one barely alive. They should be able to clear it out, even with that charged up minion. But wow, we have to take a look at the replay.
That could have been the play of the game if only Garcia was able to find the kills. But looking at the replay right now, you have to respect the wave clear. You have to respect the damage that Garcia and Asuna are actually able to output at this point in time. The way that Vitality have actually somewhat lined up in that particular sequence really favored the damage dealers here from the side of True Rippers, and now they've completely turned things around. They're the ones who are approaching the base.
Oh, they go in. Fatal Links used. Mystic Gush already expended. Emon back for the fight. Kimmy's gone, and now they're going to get chased down in the mid lane. An arrow's going to land on Asuna. They're going to follow through as Asuna falls, but Garcia is unleashing once again. Comes through clutch for True Rippers to send Vitality back to the base.
The double marksman setup is still here.
Moreno.
Moreno, does he want to take that on?
No, Moreno, what are you doing? He went for it, and he gets punished anyway.
That was too late game, marksman. You were potentially going to go up against with the Abyssal Arrow nor the trap not landing. It was a very difficult spot for Moreno at that point. But this was the engage that changed everything. It was that Fatal Links combo, making sure that they found the targets, but I think this was also a sequence of miscalculations from Team Vitality as well. Finn once again did not really land that flicker. At the same time, the entries from Moreno and Niall weren't really in accordance to what they wanted to do, and now we see Ian's falling just before the Lord.
Yep. That's a solo kill right there. That's unfortunate timing as the Lord is up. This was the replay, so Niall knew where to go, and he can win that fight. You, as the hero, especially with the stacks, you can win that fight. Now this Lord, an evolved, mind you, will go over to Team Vitality because the jungler is not available for True Rippers.
So much has been happening here, but it's Team Vitality still being able to take this Lord freely from the hands of True Rippers. So they're just waiting, and they wanted to spawn at a certain moment in time here in this game. As they take away all the remaining buffs from True Rippers, Lians will take some time to get back in this game, but you're looking at an 80 stacks Sky Piercer. You just cannot allow yourself to get too low on HP at this point.
Yep, that's big stacks right there for Niall, and this is what, you know, was starting to happen throughout the course of the game, and that's why he's such a threat, because not only do you do that much damage, you know, even on these tankier heroes like this, look at what's going on for Kimmy already. Immortality going to be popped. They're going to force the fight anyway. A Mystic Gush will come down. Shogun's going to be the trade to the 1-for-1. Re-engage, trying to fight this out. So great choice for True Rippers. Now they have to defend, though. They have to be able to go and defend this beefed up Lord. These waves all pushing in on all fronts.
Yeah.
Only 4 members left alive.
But at least True Rippers took down their main front line. At least Shogun's gone, but now...
Once again, Winter Crown going to be used. Can't withstand it. There's the kick. They're coming in to clean up. Lord's still up. They're going to work on the base here. All they have to do is lock it down. Team Vitality will take a little bit of their time, but they'll win the series in a sweep.
It took them a while.